Commentary. It's important to how we understand our game. But there's commentary rarely heard, the one inside players' heads. In this series, we take you inside the Demons' minds, the highs, the lows, the psychological side of the game. This is the Melbourne Mindset, brought to you by IG. Simon Goodwin, thanks so much for joining us.
No worries, Clint. Good to be here.
Good to see you. Let's start off with coaching generally. It can be an unenviable task for many. Why do you love it? Why do you get so much enjoyment out of it?
I guess it's probably started at my childhood when I first dreamt of being an AFL footballer and what it meant to become an AFL footballer. And I always thought with my coaching, it's something that when you dream of being an AFL footballer and you finally get that opportunity, you want to make that dream a real rewarding one. And that's what I love about coaching. It's just seeing players and people evolve and seeing them succeed and seeing them grow. From an 18-year-old right through to a 30-year-old for a lot of guys. It's a very fulfilling experience to be part of that journey with them. And the second reason is I just love to compete. It's one of the more challenging capers in the game, coaching and obviously having success within an AFL environment. But the challenge and the competitive nature that sits within it, I do like piecing the pieces of the puzzle together to find a winning formula. And I think that's a real challenge and a competitive spirit that I've got that sits within me.
How do you stop yourself from overthinking, not just in situations, but more broadly as a coach? Because I dare say there's so many people coming at you, so many noises.
Yeah, I've had to spend some time, probably I probably didn't handle it as well in 2017 to 2019. And I spent some time with some mentors away from the game. Got involved with a big wave surfer who works in the kinesiology space about really what to give energy to and what's really important to you and what will ultimately drive the ultimate version of you. And it was really about that, training yourself about what the really important things to give energy to and what's not. And I've had to really work on that over the last 2 or 3 years to put myself in a more stable, more energetic, more focused position. And I feel I'm a lot more balanced coach now moving forward.
Have you changed? As a coach?
Without question, I've changed. There's no doubt in my early coaching, I would ride the emotion of a win and loss a lot more than what I do today. For me, I've learned now it's about delegation process, making sure you're managing people the right way, spending time with the players and the most important people in the game, but really keeping better perspective. I'm really clear on what the end looks like, and the process that sits in the middle can go up and down. My job is to fix solutions and create a pathway forward and create a vision of what's possible and what type of team and club we want to become. And within that process and that journey, there are going to be a lot of ups and downs. There's going to be a lot that you planned at the start that's going to be different by the end. But it's being really clear to navigate those solutions, identify the issues, identify the opportunities, and go after them. So I'm a lot more balanced in the process that sits within the journey.
A lot of your players, when we've spoken to them about mindset, they talk about this ability to reset in situations, be it on the field, off the field, away from footy. Do you do the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I certainly wouldn't ask our players to do something that I'm not even doing myself. And one of those big things is to be able to handle pressure. Stress and pressure in our game is going to be there. So the clear thing is you've got to identify a skill set and work on a skill set that will help you in stressful situations. So the ability to work on mindfulness, the ability to do your breath work, the ability to have a reset tool, whether that be a word, are really important from a performance mindset perspective, because the more that we can stay in the now, be really present in the moment, the more we're going to perform to a really high level. So I'm very similar to a player where those situations will become prevalent for myself as a coach, that I need to be able to reset myself and be really clear on what my role is and what my task is to really stay present for the opportunities moving forward.
How big a role does mindfulness play in the modern game in footy?
Oh, it's huge from our club's perspective. Our players, as I said, stress, pressure, thoughts, can cause you some real issues, and it's how you can control your thoughts and deal with your thoughts and stay present is really important to performance. So we work on it, we grow it from a club perspective internally, and we promote it for players that have a real desire to continue to work on that. So it's providing a skill set that enables us to deal with these situations.
So when you leave Casey, Amy Park, MCG, a venue, can you actually sort of switch off?
I find it's the best time to get some work done is when I get out of the building. Some strategy, some vision in my own time. But there's certainly a time in the night and the day where I'll actually put the laptop down and do something for myself. And that's something that I have got a lot better at, is actually got to make sure you've got your own self-care, whether that's going for a surf, playing a game of golf, walking the dog, doing some exercise, doing something for yourself that you know is going to keep you in a really fresh mental state.
Are your family good at that as well, sort of dragging you away, saying, just take 5,
They are.
Draw breath?
I'm really lucky with my partner and my kids that, they certainly pull me away and keep me grounded and make sure I'm doing things with those guys to take me away from the game. And it's certainly something I cherish with those guys.
Do you worry about how it impacts on them?
Absolutely. We play a game that is an industry that in general is quite toxic from a negativity perspective. And they ride that roller coaster and emotion with supporters, but they feel it more because they see you as a dad, one of their best friends, and sometimes to see that trouble and hearing things about what's being said that can be tough for kids to work with. But we have open conversations about it. We talk about it. We actually at times laugh about it. And spend some time together.
I'm told that your son shares a lot of your coaching journey with you. What's that like to see him sort of embrace it as well?
He loves it, and the club have been fantastic, to bring him on the journey, especially in the last 3 or 4 years as he's getting a little bit older, towards 16. He's been able to come in, help out pre-game, get out on the field, kick the balls back to the players, and for him to share that journey and love of the game, he's certainly pretty fresh on his advice that he gives Dad when he hops in the car on the way to the game.
What does he tell you? He's just full. He's frank.
Look, there's been some specials. He still claims in 2021, that round, I think it was 16, he said, we have to play Ben Brown.
Yeah.
And he came in and played a pretty significant part, so he's claiming that still.
Now he's got a medallion around his neck.
Yeah.
Do you learn more from winning a premiership or from losing a final?
I think any experience, win or loss, is an opportunity to look at what's possible, and the things that we learn in the premiership year that have held us in a great position. There's things that we've learned in losing finals that are opportunities moving forward. So I don't like to separate them, because I think you can always grow. You can always look at what's possible and the opportunities that sit within win or loss.
Simon Goodwin, thanks so much.
No worries, Glenn. Thanks for having me.
It's not a job for the faint-hearted. Simon Goodwin deals with intense scrutiny and pressure, and his ability to stay focused on his goals is next to none. This ability to drown out the noise is as critical for traders as it is for our Ds. Whether it's in the markets or on the field, mastering your mindset is vital to help you perform at your best. Thanks to Melbourne's official trading partner, IG, this is the Melbourne Mindset.